about the grind, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
Hey, happy Wednesday afternoon to you. Welcome to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Thank you to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in to iHeartRadio. Thank you to those watching live on YouTube, and we appreciate those listening to this on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. It is Matt Iwanyk still in for Hernan Salas, who will be back on Monday, although he might be back on Sunday, as it's believed to be the Oilers will begin their playoffs against the LA Kings on Sunday. So Hernan will be back for that, actually.
Oh, really?
And he's back in this chair with you on Monday. He is Joaquin Gage. We also got Zachary Kubusch on the other side of the camera for the next 2 hours on the show today at 1:40. Michael Traikos from the Hockey News will stop by. We'll talk some NHL playoffs with him. 1 o'clock, it's the Iwanyk edition of Hernan's World. Your thoughts, always welcome. It's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 until 5. You could also jump into the nasty chat. It's the Paris Jewel or the River Cree inbox, though. It's 780-218-9999. Oilers, Sharks tonight. Gager, how pumped are you?
Oh, I'm excited.
8:30 start, nothing better.
Can't wait.
I've got lines for this game for you. Is there any better lines you could ask for than game 82 when it's the Edmonton Oilers taking on the San Jose Sharks at 8:30?
No, I'm looking forward to these lines.
Stuart Skinner starts in net, his 50th start in tonight's season finale.
Okay.
In this pivotal matchup between the Edmonton Oilers and the San Jose Sharks.
Give him Pickard rest. All right.
McDavid between Skinner and Brown. Nuge will center Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Henrique between Perry and Kapanen. Janmark centers Joan and Hudson. Extras, Kane, Draisaitl, Hyman. Deneen, Bouchard, Kulak, Brown, Emerson, Carrick are your D pairings. Nurse was skating with Klingberg, who was skating. Nurse suspended tonight.
Right.
As I mentioned, Pickard, he will be the backup. Also on that, no Woolman tonight as well. Chris Knobloch did confirm that. Does that get you even more excited about tonight's game? Connor looking for 100. That's probably the only real storyline of this game.
What is he at? 98?
Isn't it 99?
Is he at 99?
I thought he's 1 point away. Let
Is
me
he
double check
99?
here.
He's at 99. So, yeah.
99.
Just play
66
power
games.
play. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
I will say this, joking aside, if I want to read into these lines, which I will do right now, Ginger. Nuge, Podkolzin, Arvidsson. There's your third line for the playoffs.
Okay, so who's Draisaitl playing with?
Well, I'm going to throw this out there, because Hyman's not playing, but is Draisaitl, Hyman, Kane a line? Or is that Frederick with him? And is it to what you said yesterday? You said McDavid, Brown, Skinner. Is that your first line? Is Draisaitl, Hyman, Kane your second line? And is Nuge, Podkolzin, Arvidsson your third line? And then with that, Henrique, Perry, Kapanen is your fourth line. Are we seeing potentially a little bit of clarity when it comes with the Oilers' lines will be a game one against the LA Kings?
No, because Draisaitl was playing with Arvidsson and Podkolzin for the majority of the time, right? He went out playing with them. The new line of McDavid, Brown, and God, these names are escaping me. McDavid, Brown, and Skinner. They had some chemistry going. So I think Leon comes in, fits right into where he was before. Had a ton of success all year. The other one is kind of that new line that we've been talking about. How unfortunate it is with all these injuries. You don't know what you have till you see it. But I think Kane, Hyman, and Nuge
is your third line then?
Yeah.
And you're going, so Nuge is just a placeholder for Leon there.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's, okay, but even if that is, then we are still getting that clarity, I think, today of what those lines will be. Like, I think with this, and now there's not much you can do because Hyman's not there. and Kane's not there. But I think now you definitely go with, if it's still working tonight, McDavid, Brown, and Skinner, you start game one with that.
I think
as
so.
you said yesterday.
Yeah. I like the look of that line. You always switch back, which probably will happen in the first 10 minutes anyway. But
it is the beautiful thing about hockey, and I'm not just
Yeah.
going with the McDavid Draisaitl, but it's one of those that these things aren't fully locked in, so you could change them. But what did you make of Nuge, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson? Is that not a good third line? We've seen them do well this year.
yeah, but I think for Leon being out for this amount of time, just let him come right back into those comfy old slippers, right? You know what you had. You had success with him. You know what to expect. I just think I would be, for a coach, I think it would be more comfortable just having something that you're used to a little bit. And I know the playoffs are completely different. But yeah, I just want Leon to feel good first period of game 83. That's my reasoning for that. And now the experiment comes with the Nuge line now with Kane and Hyman. And who's your matchups against? Who does LA go that line against? Right? Do they put the Fogle line against that one? Because Fogle I thought he was moving around a little bit yesterday. Scored a nice goal again. Scored a really nice goal.
Okay, I have a question for you. I just want to write some things down so I don't, because I can really confuse myself for some reason when I just say these and my brain can't wrap them always.
Well, make sure you use two hands.
Oh, we're getting into that. Don't worry. Okay, I think I know my answer to this. But okay, if I've got this, so McDavid, Skinner, Brown, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Arvidsson, Nuge, Kane, Hyman. It's Henrik, Perry, Kapanen. So if Frederick is healthy, Kapanen's just out.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
It better be. Gosh.
I guess it is pretty much that simple.
The last thing you want is a guy in your fourth line trying to carry it and gain the zone at the blue line. No. He only sees ice if there's an injury after this. Enough chances.
There you go. I think tonight, then I'll go with. I think we have somewhat of a clarity. Like honestly, it's if I had the question, it'd be just dry Nuge, where that might rotate. I think maybe Nuge with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, but I think we know who the wingers are. It's Arvidsson, Podkolzin with either dry or Nuge in the center. You're saying dry,
but
and then Hyman and Kane with Nuge in the center. You're saying Nuge. I say
but
you're saying Nuge. I say dry.
Last year, Kane and Draisaitl.
I thought they picked it up as time went on.
I thought it got worse. Maybe I'm wrong. When did Perry lose it on Kane last year?
Let's go playoffs last. That was right before the playoffs.
It's like 10 games left, right?
Can I just natural stat trick? I could do the line tool and see what we had last year. So I want 23-24 season. I want to go Edmonton Oilers here. Oh, it has Canada on here. That's pretty cool. So Leon, because I think you're right. There were times throughout the regular season, I think Kane and Draisaitl didn't look like it was working.
No.
But I think it's that if I recall correctly, the playoffs, it got better. Last year in the playoffs, what do I have here?
I don't think it really... does it really count?
They had... When they were on the ice together, they had 8 goals for, 7 were goals against.
Okay.
They had 60 shots against 74, so they had a less than 50% shots for percentage together in the playoffs. So maybe that isn't good enough.
And that's, well, you got to remember that's Kane without a stomach too, and a groin, right? So that added to it. It got progressively worse. There might be something there, and I think you're right. It did get a little bit better by the end, right? I think that is what happened. But again, this is... I just don't think that Leon likes playing with Kane. So
I think there's something to that a little bit. This year, Draisaitl with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, 11 goals for, 9 against. This is all 5v5.
Yeah.
This is in all situations. This is 5v5. 11 goals, 9 assists. With him and Hyman, I wanted to look at just those two. Leon and Zach Hyman this season, when they've been paired together, 5v5, 31 goals for, 11 goals against. They have a lot of success 5-on-5 when they're a duo.
Yeah, and I like those two kind of have a little bit more of a Smash Brothers connection. In a sense, they engage physically. Like you see Leon, he gets the puck on the wall, turns his back, engages contact and starts rolling off. Like he brings players to him. Whereas Connor is, he's a free flowing player. He initiates contact as well, but it's quick spin moves. And then there's Hyman's kind of stationary. I think there's more movement from Hyman when Leon has it, just because there's more. Seems like might be a little bit more play along the walls, like on the boards.
It'd be wild, honestly, though, if just and not saying it's wrong. It'd just be funny that going into this year, I don't think we would say this, but Nuge and Hyman being on your third line to start a playoffs, and put Colson, being a guy that's in your top 6.
Yeah,
but it's not about what perception is; it's about reality. And to your point, Leon with Podkolzin and Arvidsson, there's been some recent success with them. And that's why it is an option for this team. And before you can jump in, Penner's Pancake saying I'm missing Janmark there. The reason I don't have Janmark there is he's on that he's on the 4th line for tonight with Jones and Hudson. And if I am reading into this, trying to read into that for Sunday when the Oilers take on the Kings, if it is indeed Sunday, I think that just shows that he's the odd man out right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why not have him in that top 3? So I feel like Chris Knobloch's using this opportunity to maybe try to get some of the lines going in advance of the playoffs.
And look, you got to find what works best too against the Kings line. That might not be the best matchup. Maybe it works quite well. I'm fascinated to see who the Kings match up. If those lines stay the same, right, of what we just mentioned, who does Kopitar go up against? Leon?
Let me find the...
Because I think that's what's happened in the past, is it not?
I need the lines for the Kings. I feel like Deneau often goes up against... these aren't going to be proper lines. They're giving me the current game, so there's players sitting up. I feel like Deneau goes up against McDavid a lot.
McDavid, yeah.
So it's Kopitar and Kempe?
Kopitar, Kempe, and...
Kuzmenko.
Kuz.
I think that you'd put up against Leon.
Yeah.
And then that would leave Byfield.
To go up against the Nuge?
I'm okay with that if I'm the LA Kings.
It's kind of, you're giving Nuge the occupation of shutting down Byfield, hopefully. Is he more of a defensive role? Yeah, I would say so, right? Byfield's been a pretty good player this year.
He's been, I would say so. I feel if I'm the LA Kings, Deneau has just had a good history against Connor McDavid, I feel like. Or he's been one of the guys that, when there was one playoffs, was it 2 playoffs ago or 3 playoffs ago, where he was banged up. And I think he came in for a little bit of the series, and he was a little bit of a difference maker when he came in. There's not a lot of players, there's very few players that have a way of containing Connor. I don't want to put Deneau in there, but he's closer in that category of being a guy that could.
Was that the first one?
I feel like the first one he was hurt a bit, and that one went 7.
That was the one without Doughty, right?
Doughty's kind of been injured for 2 of them, I feel like.
Okay. But that's when they had that, is it Sean Dursey?
Yeah.
And you
didn't like that trade.
No,
you did not like that trade.
I thought Dursey was, because he was a lot younger there, but I thought he did quite an admirable job against Connor that series. It got to the point where Connor took over, but for the first little bit, I was like, wow, this guy is playing Connor as good as you possibly can at this point to try to contain him.
Doughty played all of last year.
Yeah.
He was all there. It looks like in 2023 he was there the entire series, but I think he was a little banged up.
No, he's always banged up.
The year before he missed. So he missed that first one.
Yeah.
So I would guess that if you're the LA Kings for games 1 and 2, you're trying to match up Kopitar against Draisaitl's line. And you're trying to match up Deneau's line against McDavid's line.
Yeah.
And then people think that, John here, I think Nuge can shut down Byfield. I think also if you're throwing out that line, like if it's the way we have it listed and you have, like if Nuge or Hyman's on that line too.
It's just
I like the Oilers' third line a little bit there.
Yeah. And I think you need to when you look at the matchups, right?
Because it'd be Fiala and Lafreniere, I think, with Byfield.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a potential Kane, Nuge, or Hyman there over that.
Just a little bit more. Kane might have some speed back, right? The Nuge can still get around quite well.
I think he's looked very good in as a third line center this season for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, Hyman can get around. So, but it's Byfield. Fiala's can scoot. Byfield's a horse. A Ferrier. I wonder who do you think has the speed advantage
between the two teams?
Between those two lines. You think it's pretty even?
I would go to give it to the Kings.
I think
Byfield and Lafreniere.
That's a little bit more speed. But then you counteract that with the Nuge, good two-way defensive play in good position and eliminating their ability to go through the neutral zone with speed.
Leferrier.
I'm saying
Lafreniere.
Lafreniere? What is it?
I'm Leferrier.
It's a Leferrier?
Yeah.
What did I say?
I'm going. You're not. You're fine. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I think I'm going Lafreniere and all that. I think I keep calling him that guy. That's not what I should be saying. No. So guy. That's where I'll. Yeah. I don't think. I think even if Nuge's line loses out slightly to the LA Kings third line, I don't think that's a different maker in the series. It's those top two lines. It's what's Kopitar versus McDavid and what's Draisaitl and what's Deneau versus McDavid.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's what it's going to come down to.
And
that's where I think Oilers fans feel confident and why they feel confident.
Kuzmenko, Kempe, Kopitar, that's a good line, man. But I think Kempe's so good. God, he's good.
The question will be, can you do it in the playoffs? Hellebuck had a great season last year.
Yeah.
And as soon as they got to the playoffs against the Avs, he got lit up. That is the big thing that I think also Oilers fans will point to. I agree with you, though. Like Kemper right now tied with Hellebuck for goals allowed average, 2.02. He's second in the NHL behind Anthony Stolarz, of all people. He's third, sorry. Hellebuck's behind Stolarz. Kemper's a .922 save percentage.
Well, I saw in the Nasty Chat during the oil stream there, someone put in Korpisalo's numbers before the Oilers series 2 years ago. And they were lights out. They were Kemper-esque. So we all know what happened there.
During the season? Or was it like recent play?
No, it was going up to, I think it was going up to that year. Didn't he have
It's only going up to it. So that he got traded from Columbus to LA.
Yeah.
In LA, he had a .921 save percentage, a 2.13 goals allowed average in 11 games.
I know, but it's still going in pretty hot.
Okay, 11 games is very different from a season. Darcy Kemper has played 50 games this season, and he's got the 2.02 GAA and the .921 save percentage. But it's different to me coming in and playing.
From? Columbus, right?
Yeah.
And Columbus was terrible.
But it's different for me, like looking at I'm not going to have as much of a comparison because you could look at it more as Korpisalo had a good run to end the season. Kemper has been a good from the start of the season till the end of the season.
I see what you're saying, but as a goaltender, okay, come into the mind of the goaltender here. I know it's a weird place, but you go from a crap team where you're getting just shelled every night, struggling for wins. To have the ability to get traded to another team they were more defensively sound. I get that. But to produce those types of numbers is impressive to me, right? You're putting everything in the rearview mirror. And, on the eye test of watching the small sample size of Korpisalo that season, I thought he played well. He kept his team in it. And that's what we saw it in the first 3 games. He was lights out, man. He was really good. So, but like I say, when playoffs start, everyone's back at 0.
100%. I'm not going to personally be able to go and compare Korpisalo to Kemper because Kemper with the one team all year.
I'm saying Kemper's way like
it's way more consistent.
Yeah.
And the other difference is Kemper's actually won in the playoffs before. Like, this isn't a guy that's never been to the playoffs. This isn't a guy that hasn't gone long in the playoffs. He's played in a Stanley Cup final, and he got it done.
Yeah.
And he did it against some pretty good players in that Stanley Cup final, including Nikita Kucherov.
Well, what did the Oilers do? Did they stick a finger in his eye last time?
They poked him in the eye. There's some poke in the eye that took him out of that series.
Yes.
And the Avs still found a way to win, but he came back for the Stanley Cup, and he got it done against the Tampa Bay Lightning as the Avalanche stopped the three-peat.
That's amazing. They were a wagon, though.
That Avs team?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe Sakic's done a good job of retooling that team this year.
Yeah.
They're not. I think they're the hardest team
Think so?
in the Central.
I think they'll beat Dallas.
I think they beat the Jets too.
They play Dallas first, right?
Yeah, but then they'd take on the Jets unless the Jets falter in the first round against the St. Louis
Yeah,
Blues
they
if
can.
Dylan Holloway comes back and
Oh, Maddie, stop. Jesus. You can't keep doing this to people.
we got Michael Traikos from the Hockey News coming up at 1:40. Your thoughts still always welcome. River Cree inbox. You could also jump into the Nasty Chat. I'm at Iwanyk. He's Joaquin Gage. Here's Zach with your sports update. We're back more with your thoughts here on EST Afternoons and your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, Edmonton Sports Talk.
Connor McDavid enters Game 82 just 1 point back of recording his 8th career 100-point season. Calvin Pickard gets a call against the Sharks as the Oilers roll with 12 forwards and 5 defensemen in San Jose. Tom Gazzola gets you set for the action as he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7:30, only on EST. And the Canadians will clinch a playoff berth if they get at least 1 point against the Hurricanes to book a Montreal-Washington first round for the second time ever. Elsewhere, the Stars and Preds face off. Winnipeg hosts Anaheim. The Devils battle the Red Wings while the Golden Knights meet the Canucks. For the Jets, Alex Iafallo has signed a 3-year extension worth $11 million, having 15 goals and 31 points through 81 games this season. In baseball, it's 2-0 Jays over Braves at the bottom of the 7th inning, with 3 other games live, including the Brewers up 5-1 on the Tigers in the end of the 7th. The NBA play-in tournament continues. Miami takes on Chicago, and the Mavs tip off with the Kings. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. More with Matt Iwanyk and Joaquin Gage once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
This is EST Afternoons, 126 here in Edmonton. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here alongside Zach to come. River Cree inbox. You're welcome to text us 780-218-9999, or you can jump into the nasty chat portions of this hour of the EST Afternoons. I think I was about to say hangout. Did I say hangout yet? I'm about to say.
Well, it was on the tip of your tongue.
I'm going to say hangout a bit. I don't know. It's that
Hernan
EST
says
stuff.
Sports Center.
EST, like it's that EST part. I'm used to just EST hangouts, EST afternoons though. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Wing flavor of the month, Dillionaire versus Passion Fruit Habanero. Showdown continues at the CBH. Wing flavors of the month, as I mentioned, cool versus fiery. Who will reign supreme? Come taste the madness at the Canadian Brew House. We got into a fight right before the show. I'm going to throw it into the nasties here. Jay's also in this fight. That older generation that's useless to a degree. I'll call you guys out for that. When you eat wings, flats. Sticking with flats on this. Drumsticks.
Whatever.
I won't do it with drumsticks or whatever. Flats. Okay, for drumsticks, all of them. One hand or two hands? What do? Are you a one-hander or two-hander? Because Dusty did a two hands on Oil Stream and you
it's
messed
just
something.
Ridiculous.
Well,
be a man. Use one hand. It looks silly.
Chat GPT does say two hands for pure wing performance is the superior way.
Developed by a millennial.
Yeah. Fixing this world that you guys screwed up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like you see Dusty with two hands on that wing, and the way he eats wings is ridiculous. He looks like a chipmunk. Like it's funny, but I don't understand. Why can't you just use one hand? You use one hand to eat. Do you eat pizza with two hands?
I pick it up with two, possibly.
Okay, I can see the only thing you should be eating with two hands is a burger.
Cut in half, you only need one.
Oh, you'd use two because you're elite, I guess.
It's a wing performance.
It's not wing performance.
As ChatGPT says it. They add. You get full control over the wing. You get cleaner bone pulls. Maximize meat versus minimum waste. I don't like wasting my meat here, Gager.
Yeah, well, it's being wasted. Look.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
The only reason you should, the other hand should be free because of what? The beer. What do you go for? Beer, wings.
Called a napkin.
And you don't, it doesn't matter.
Wipe,
you are
grab,
still
drink.
getting that stuff all over your glass.
You want to know something? I'll put a straw in my beer then now on.
Oh my God.
And I could just grab it, and then I definitely don't need it. How's that sound?
I guess we're going to start getting EST straws and bibs for all these children out here that are spilling wing sauce. If you can't eat wings without being clean, then maybe just stay home. All right? Make them yourself. This is ridiculous. What are we talking about here?
Two hands, wing performance.
Two hands as a kid on your bike. Yes. Two hands when you're driving.
Jen says I use two hands.
Oh, Jen, stop it.
VR Montenegro, one hand, elite.
Yeah, I'm elite.
Jay is one hand. Zach, how do you eat wings?
I usually eat them with two hands because you want to get all the bone off or all the meat off the bone, right? You're not going to be like Dusty and eat around the wing. There's still half a wing. When I was eating or watching Dusty eat, like you pointed it out, you're like, look at this guy eat. And, he had a fiery hot wing, but he took like one bite and he was done. It was like he was on Hot Ones the way he ate those wings. He didn't have it all. So you gotta use two hands to have all of it, right? You got to pull it apart, pick it, and then you wash your hands after because it's an event, right? Like mostly it's saucy. If you use a napkin on your hand, you're not really cleaning your hands, so you're going to have to go wash both of your hands anyway. You're not going to put a hand behind your back and wash one hand.
I only have to wash one hand.
Well, that's what Trev does when he shakes your hand.
I don't know. It'd be weird. What, you just wash with one hand, turn on the water,
no,
and
you
leave
take
your
the
one hand
napkin
dry?
and wipe it. You go wash both hands.
But after
so then what's the point of not using... Well, I know you're going to
be cleaning them anyway.
I get that.
My glass is clean. I don't look like half a slob.
You want to know something, Gager? I drink my beer so quickly they bring me another glass sooner. I don't nurse my beer
through
here.
Your straw?
I don't nurse my beer here. I don't have to worry about how dirty it is because I'll get that clean glass right away. You take your sweet time with your beer.
We got to do this. These 7 dogs, 7 beer challenge.
999. Liquid Beaver. I'll get into Liquid Beaver. 2 hands for sure. I'm older than you, Gage. Not everyone could be as cool as you.
Yeah,
LOL.
Liquid Beaver. Stop it.
999. I'm going to try to accomplish this at a Riverhawks game this year. I have to do 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, in 9 innings. There's no rule of when they have to be done. They just have to be done from first pitch to the last out. And I did deal with this with Belsey because they do only tall boys usually at Riverhawks. I can't have anything. It has to be beer. Okay. I can't go for a cider or something like that. We said 7 tall boys equals the 9 beers.
Oh, does it?
That's what we figured out. I think it was like 6 point something.
Okay.
So I would do, so in a way, I'll do 9-7-9 type thing. But I'll do the 9-9-9 and I'll get it done. Why is Jake coming in?
I got it.
I don't know. You don't get it. I don't want you on here. No, you don't get a say on this.
No,
this is my show today.
This is absurd.
This is my show today. Absolutely.
This is absurd.
You do not come on to my show and take it over with your crap.
Hey, it's my show. He's just renting the space.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Jay.
The one-handed flat is the only way to handle a flat.
Yeah.
You take the flat, you grab it by the end, you push it down along the bones. It creates a lollipop in your mouth. That's it.
Yeah.
One hand.
And you have
Grow up.
ChatGPT, wing performance, 2 hands.
Flats aren't even the best way to eat the wing.
What
It's
else
a wing.
does it, what
Wings are the
else does
best.
it say on Chat GPT about using one hand?
It says cool factor,
Cool factor and
practicality.
okay.
Doesn't
Boom.
matter. But I care about wing performance because
Oh,
I'm a
okay, let's see
I'm
your-
a top performer.
I wanna see your
two-time
performance.
Tecmo champion here.
Yeah, okay.
I am a golf tournament champion. Do you want me to bring my trophies into this room?
Yes, I do. I do. I can bring mine as well.
You have them here in the office? Your F1?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? It's not 2-time Tecmo champ, including the
Two-time
greatest,
F1 champion.
including the greatest
You're playing
season
against
in
Hernan.
Tecmo.
The whole thing is weak.
You could try this at the Canadian Brew House, by the way, with the wing.
Yeah, and take that challenge. But Jay makes a good point. My son does this, a young 19-year-old. When he does take the flat, he pushes it down, becomes the lollipop, and is completely efficient. I mean, if you look at a plate of wings after Dusty's been at him, like you could feed a small village of what's left on those things.
Did I ever tell you what he did with spits? I won't give him my spits anymore. He's not allowed to have any spits.
Well, he doesn't
in
even
it.
eat. He just sucks the salt off. That's
One day I
awesome.
remember at the old place, he grabbed some. We were talking, and he just spit them out. I'm like, you didn't eat the seeds.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't. I just sucked the salt off. I'm like, that.
It's awesome.
Go get your own salt. This.
I didn't even do that as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So when your son eats an actual wing, does he go one-handed or
Yeah.
does he just go for flats?
No, either one. It doesn't matter if it's a drum. So a drum you use one hand, and for flats you use 2.
Well, I've got a good handle of it. There's no good spot to hold it, type thing. Like on the top, I'm biting in
But
that
it's the
area.
same.
I'm biting in that area.
Oh my god, we got to get some wings in here and tape everyone.
Jen Cool. She says, not for long, Gage, or that F1 trophy's coming home with my hubby this time.
Look at who's riding the coattails of her husband there. You know, join the pool yourself and then start bragging.
Didn't you have limit who was in the pool?
Well, yeah, I did.
Collingwood Rob, so you two-handers grab your beer with the saucy hand. That's disgusting. No, it's called a napkin. It's called a napkin.
You know what, though?
You grab the napkin.
I guarantee.
You wipe your hand with the napkin. You grab your beer glass and you have a drink.
I guarantee when Maddie's eating wings, that's when the cops are outside waiting because they're going to get clean prints off that beer mug because his saucy fingers are all over there.
I'll just throw this out there. I'll double down on this. With Lieutenant Eric will stand by with me on this one. You want to know what else you do? Just get boneless. Take a fork, put it into the wing.
Those
eat
aren't
it.
wings.
Hands are clean.
Those are
Your
nuggets.
hands, if you care about
There's no
cleanliness,
such thing as a boneless
if you
wing.
care about cleanliness that much, just get boneless then.
That's not a wing.
And then your beers, you could have 2 drinks.
You're talking about this experience. Like, what'd you have? Boneless wings. There's no such thing as a boneless wing. You ever seen a boneless chicken fly? Can't. It's a peacock.
No, boneless wing. If you care so much about your cleanliness and your hand and your beer
I
glass,
don't, because
you worry about your beer glass. You're all worried about your beer glass. Then just use a fork.
I'm cool and efficient, and I've got like 3 fingers are saucy. I got 2 more that are clean. 3 of my fingers are dirty. That's it. Boop boop. Done. Off to the. Then I hold my massive beer glass with 2 hands.
Napkin, wipes. Grab that beer glass. Take a sip. Put it down. Keep eating.
You're nuts.
Finish that beer quickly. You move on.
You're absolutely. crazy.
Well, what's new? The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tommy, Zach, is Cass on? Do you know?
Yeah, Tommy said he should be. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I thought he was missing a bunch of games. He's missed like 2 or something like that. Tommy, Zach, Cass, they'll get you set for the game. They'll also get you set for the Oilers as we head towards the playoffs, which we expect to begin on Sunday. The NHL playoffs will begin on Saturday, but the Oilers we expect on Sunday. The LA Lakers do play on Tuesday. So unless all of a sudden game 2 goes Thursday, the Oilers will play game 2 on Wednesday, which is something Tommy has said. So we'll go Sunday, Wednesday in LA, come back here. My guess is they'll go Wednesday, Sunday here. And then looking at the schedule, I think it'll be every second day. Then it'll go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, if necessary for those games. But Sunday
Good for the Oilers.
And Wednesday, that's the time off.
Yeah.
2 games between
just
now and end of game 2, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't said what's wrong with Ekholm, right? But we got to speculating it's a muscle tear.
And all we know is he's out for round 1.
Yeah.
He didn't say he's out for the playoffs.
Nope.
He didn't say he's out for round 2, but he also didn't say he'll be ready to go in round 2. I think there's a very good chance if they get through round 1, we'll hear Ekholm, he's out
for round 2.
I think it's going to be a while for Ekholm.
Yeah.
To come. And also at the same time, if he comes back.
Yeah, there's that.
I don't
too.
know what Ekholm you're getting.
But
right? Like you're getting a very injured Ekholm.
Even any type of muscle tear, 4 to 6, right? Ekholm's not the youngest guy anymore. I'm leaning more towards that 6-week time frame. If that's the case, where does that land? If the Oilers can emulate what they did last year, end of 3rd round, possibly.
If you're talking 6 weeks from this past weekend,
what's that?
That takes you to, let me look at my calendar here. So we're going to go that came on Saturday, Sunday. So
April?
The start of the playoffs, you're a weekend. So it's 5 weeks from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That takes you to the end of May. You're looking at that time, you're heading into conference finals.
Heading into?
Yeah. Or you might have just started conference finals. What did the Oilers play conference finals last year? Again, the Stanley Cup was handed out on the 24th last year.
I guess, right.
Oilers 2023-24 season. Their playoffs. Conference final. Game 1 was May 23rd.
Jeez.
So we're talking about the beginning, like early days of a conference final.
So essentially, if he's not back and if the Oilers are in it, conference finals, if he's not back in the final, we knew it was much more severe because right around that time he should be healed up.
If they're in a conference finals, they're looking pretty good going to the Cup. I'll say that right now.
Who do you think they play in the conference finals?
Doesn't matter. They just beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and they just beat the LA Kings. They're feeling good. They're a good enough hockey team.
Why don't you ever answer my questions? Who are they beating in the conference finals?
Doesn't matter.
Meeting?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't have it in this world.
Colorado? You think it's Colorado? I think it might be.
I think they're the best team out of the Central.
Yeah,
but I don't make predictions.
Oh, right. That's right. That's why you don't.
When we come back here on the other side of the break here on EST Afternoons, Michael Traikos from the Hockey News will stop by. We will look around the NHL playoffs, look ahead to that as well. Coming up at 2 o'clock, we do got Hernan's World, my edition of Hernan's World. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Iwanyk. Here's Zach Kubusch with a sports update here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Oilers will ice 12 forwards and 5 defensemen in San Jose tonight. Connor McDavid sits just 1 point away from 100 points this season. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola gets you set for the action right here on EST at 7:30. And Montreal fights to book a ticket to the playoffs, needing just 1 point against the Hurricanes to take the final wildcard spot in the East to battle the Caps in round 1. And for the Stars, Tyler Seguin returns to the lineup against the Predators while Vancouver hosts Vegas. And the Ducks face the Jets on a 6-game NHL slate. And from Winnipeg, Alex Iafallo has re-upped with the Jets on a 3-year deal worth $11 million. Iafallo has 31 points and 15 goals through 81 games this season. 3 games are live in baseball. The Jays hold the Braves 3-0 midway through the 8th. Also in the 8th inning, the Mets and Twins are locked at 3 apiece, while the Cardinals hold the Astros 4-1 in the top of the 9th. On the court, there's 2 play-in matchups. The Bulls and Heat tip off while Dallas hits the road in Sacramento. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. Whether you're looking for a casual round or a serious game, Gimme Virtual Golf has membership and flex passes to fit your style. Visit Gimme Virtual Golf today and discover just how fun indoor golf can be. More NHL talk once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
I don't want them to lose. I want pure heartbreak. If they could lose to the Sens, how great would that be? This team has missed the playoffs for how many years? You meet them after winning the division and you lose to your provincial rival. Or Marner has this great playoffs and he walks on you. That's the stuff I want.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
144 on this colder day here in Edmonton. 3 degrees, wind gusts upwards of 42. I got my shorts on. That's not maybe the best move for today. Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here on EST Afternoons. We're live in the William Huff studio. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience and desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website, williamhuff.com. Give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Also head to their website to get that playoff package today for the Edmonton Oilers that comes with the banner, the decals, the stickers, as well as the pom-poms. William Huff also going to be a proud sponsor of the EST Golf Classic that's coming up this summer. Right now, joining us to talk some NHL and look ahead to the playoffs, which will begin on Saturday. From the Hockey News, he is the managing editor. Michael Traikos is with us. Michael, thank you for taking some time to join Joaquin and myself. I want to start out in Ontario. Yesterday it is finally confirmed. We are going to get the Battle of Ontario. The Sens, they do have the season series against the Leafs as we head into the playoffs. How much of a buzz do you expect we'll see from Ontario, and how do you see these two teams matching up in a best-of-7 first-round matchup?
Hey, well, thanks for having me on. You guys know what it's like to have a Battle of Ontario, especially when there's a Tkachuk on the other side. So, Toronto fans get Brady in this one, and the attention to this series is already through the roof. I can only imagine what it's going to be like. It's been since 2004 since these two teams have played each other, and boy, a lot has happened since 2004. And you mentioned that the Ottawa Senators have the edge on the Leafs, but when it comes to playoffs, this is one-sided as one-sided could be. Similar to Toronto and Boston, where Boston always has Toronto's number. Toronto's always had Ottawa's number when it comes to the playoffs. So I know a lot of Leaf fans are looking forward to this, saying, finally, there's an opponent that the Leafs know that they can beat. But I imagine this is just going to be, as the players are already saying, this is going to be a bloodfest. And it should be the best first round of any round in the playoffs.
We said the Leafs, they win the division title. And the one thing that I'm wrapping my head around this year, like there hasn't been a lot of talk about the Leafs maybe being Stanley Cup contenders. I've seen some odds makers when you're looking at winning a Stanley Cup. They're much lower. They are higher than the Lightning. They are higher than the Panthers. And is this team for real, or what do you make of the Leafs season, and how do you look at them as they head into the playoffs for the bigger picture, which is a Stanley Cup?
Well, it's a good question, because in a vacuum, if there wasn't any, if you had just literally crawled out of a cave and looked at the standings, you would say, yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they've got Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, arguably the best goalie tandem in the NHL. This should be the number one Stanley Cup threat. And yet, it's not in a vacuum. This is a team that has won one playoff round in basically the last decade. So, there's going to be a lot of naysayers and a lot of skeptics. And until the Toronto Maple Leafs get out of the first or second round, I think a lot of people are just kind of holding their breath saying, I don't know yet. I've been fooled so many times before. Got to remember, when there was that all-Canadian division, all of us, including myself, said, I don't see a scenario where Toronto doesn't make it to the Stanley Cup final, because it's just the path has never been easier. And yet that was a team that lost to the Montreal Canadiens in round one. So I think until the Leafs do it, there's always going to be that skepticism, similar to what we saw with the Washington Capitals until they won the Cup, and even the San Jose Sharks until they went to the Cup final. A lot of pressure is going to be on these guys, especially knowing that Mitch Marner could be a free agent when all is said and done in the summer.
Michael, after the Four Nations, we saw Brady Tkachuk talk about how it was fun playing in games that finally meant something, and that he wanted to play in more of these types of games. What type of influence do you think he can have in this series, as this is the first time he gets a taste of some of that playoff atmosphere?
Yeah, he's going to be a catalyst. Like, the Tkachuks drag the rest of their team into the fight. And you see it, we saw it last 2 years with the Florida Panthers. Like, that is a team where you look up and down the lineup, and it's Matthew Tkachuk. Basically, he's implemented his identity on that Panthers team. The same thing with the Senators. I said that you might as well forget about the Senators logo. The logo is Brady Tkachuk's face. That is the identity. And you look at the way that Senators team plays, they're a top 5 team in hits. They're big, getting Dylan Cousins. They play a heavy brand of hockey. I would say they're almost like Panthers light, in the sense that really is the kind of the playbook. And if you're looking at a matchup style, that's not a matchup that the Toronto Maple Leafs really thrive against. Like, I think they would probably rather play the Tampa Bay Lightning and go skill for skill. Playing those big, heavy teams like the Bruins of yesteryear, or even the Florida Panthers, the Leafs don't do well against that kind of game. So it will be interesting. I think it's going to be a bit of a clash of the styles. And, if Brady Tkachuk is healthy, he's going to be a huge handful for the Leafs.
Michael Traikos of the Hockey News with us here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I want to get an outsider's take on this one, because, we're obviously here in Edmonton, so we're focused around the Oilers. And it's Oilers-Kings, 4th time in a row in the playoffs in the first round these two teams are meeting. And there's a lot in Edmonton that people that feel like, we're done with this. This is boring. For you, what do you make of this series? And are you one, as somebody not in, this city, who looks at this and go, tired of seeing a series like this? Or what are your feelings when you see Oilers-Kings for the 4th time?
Yeah, you'd think like 4 years in a row, the rivalry would be such where, everyone is dying to see Oilers-Kings again. But it's been a one-sided series for one, and two, I don't know. There's just not that same sort of, geographic rivalry between the two franchises. And it just seems like it's one of those ones where Gary Bettman really design the playoffs to be as such where we do get, the same two teams playing each other. I actually think it's not the greatest thing. I would like to see the Oilers against a different team. That being said, hopefully what we saw in the last game is going to, bleed over into the playoffs. Like there's already been kind of a war of words. I don't think the teams do like each other. I think whenever you've got Corey Perry in the mix, the Oilers are an easy team to hate if you're the Kings. But, I'm hoping that it's a good series. I hope that the Oilers get all their guys back, or at least close to that, so that it's competitive.
Michael, you mentioned in the Ottawa-Toronto series the contrasting styles. Aside from that series itself, what other first-round matchup are you kind of looking at that interests you the most outside of that kind of Ottawa and Toronto series?
I think like most diehard hockey fans, it's hard not to look at Colorado against Dallas and view the Rantanen Bowl as it's being described as, it should be must-watch hockey. You're talking about a Colorado team that traded Mikko Rantanen to Carolina. He ends up in Dallas and now is playing against his former team, and just the amount of star power on both sides. The Colorado Avalanche, I thought, did the best job of any team in the NHL at the deadline. I think getting Brock Nelson was huge. Charlie Coyle was a huge addition as well, and now that they're getting Gabe Landeskog back, I think that's a huge get as well. Obviously, Dallas is going to be without Miro Heiskanen, but I'm expecting high scoring. I'm expecting a lot of skill, and I'm expecting, Rantanen to kind of shove it down Colorado's throats, and why they traded him and why they didn't re-sign him.
When it comes to the Winnipeg Jets, if they win that first round series against the Blues, they would get the winner of that series. And you look at those three teams; they're all really strong. But the Jets were a strong team heading in last year, and they were, the Avs made quick work of them in just 5 games. What do you make of how far the Jets can go? And is this just as simple as the difference between if they will get the Hellebuck that we've seen this year or the Hellebuck from last playoffs?
Yeah, it's funny because it wasn't too long ago the Hockey News had, the winners of the next Stanley Cup, your Winnipeg Jets. And I think that was back in 2015 or something, where we were really high on, this is going to be Winnipeg's time. So similar to Toronto, they haven't really achieved as much as I think a lot of people thought they would. They've got the best goaltender in the world in Connor Hellebuck, and whether it's line one or line 2, line 3, line 4, they can come at you in waves. So a lot of pressure is going to be on the Jets to kind of try to achieve what they haven't been able to. It's a team that went out in the first round last year, so I'm expecting them to go deep in the playoffs. That being said, is there another team that has a harder road if they were to get to the final? Like you mentioned, they're going to be playing a red-hot Blues team, and if they somehow get past that Blues team, they get the winner of Colorado and Dallas, and then possibly a Vegas team or maybe an Oilers team. Geez, who constructed this? And if someone says that the Stanley Cup's not the hardest trophy to win, I want you to look at how the Winnipeg Jets are going to actually have to win a Stanley Cup and get there. So I have high hopes for the Jets. How can you not? They're the President's Trophy winners. There's no real weakness, and yet, like Toronto, it's all about can they exercise their demons from the past.
Michael, is there, you've mentioned all these teams are so evenly matched, but is there I guess you'd have to look at the top seeds. Could you see a major upset at all in this first round, or what team do you think could surprise someone by moving on to the second round?
I got fingers crossed that Montreal makes the playoffs. If they do, I would not want to be the Washington Capitals because it's a team that's playing with house money. I know that kind of gets overused a lot, but did anyone pick the Montreal Canadiens to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year? I certainly didn't. I thought they had lottery, team written all over them. I love the fact that they've got a lot of young guys. How can you not like Lane Hudson? Looks like he's the runaway favorite for the Calder. And then Ivan Demidov showed so much skill and creativity already in game 1. I really think that could be one of those Cinderella type stories. And, that's something that Montreal has done in the past. It wasn't too long ago that Montreal team did beat the Washington Capitals team, and they relied on Halak. I don't think it's going to be goaltending that gets them over the edge if they do pull the upset. I think it's just going to be about the kids and not realizing how big the moment is for them.
Michael, we really appreciate the time. Enjoy the last couple days of the NHL regular season and the start of the playoffs on this weekend.
Awesome, guys. And hopefully, maybe Toronto, Edmonton. Maybe I'll come down there for the final and we can have I'll come in the studio there.
Would love it. I don't know if the country can handle Oilers leaves, though. So, but hey, fingers crossed. Michael, appreciate the time again.
All right, thanks, guys.
There's Michael Traikos with the hockey news. I don't think the country is ready for that.
No,
I don't think the two cities are ready for that. It'd be incredible if you're on the outside. I think it'd be somewhat incredible to watch.
Actually, I do think the country's ready for it. Just to have 2 weeks of focus on something completely different than everything else in the world.
Fair enough. Okay, here's the question: who does the country cheer for?
Oh,
you got to break it down here. So Montreal, you're cheering for Edmonton. Ottawa, you're cheering for Edmonton. I'm assuming Winnipeg would cheer for Edmonton. Calgary, Vancouver, who are you cheering for?
I think it's split down the middle in cities too. Like there's a lot of Toronto fans everywhere.
Right, but like I'm Flames Canucks fans. Who are you cheering for?
If you're a diehard Flames fan, you're cheering for Toronto, I think.
In 2006, a lot of Flames fans were cheering for the Oilers in that run. I don't remember how many Flames fans were cheering for them last year. I didn't pay attention to that. Canucks fans, I think, would bite the tongue and cheer for Toronto.
Vancouver's not cheering for everyone. They're just cheering for the ice plant to go down. Games are canceled.
I will say, I don't cheer for anyone generally. I will be all in on the Edmonton Oilers because I can't do a Leaf Stanley Cup. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I won't. No, I don't want it. So the Oilers, McDavid, Leon, you got to save our country from what a Leafs Stanley Cup celebration will look like. Because we will have the daily specials for hours live at the Cup days with whatever player. Here's Mitch Marner's day with the Cup. Here's, Kyle Bukakis, over there. And then you've got Scott Oak on the other end. And they're going to and then also today's now Austin Matthews Day with the Cup. And then, and it's going to be all summer. It's going to be miserable.
It'll be like Big Brother, Matty. You'll love it.
We hear about it for 10 years though. That's the thing. The first time since 67, 68, the Toronto Maple Leafs have won 4 series in a row.
The Oilers with that situation would have to save our country, to save our sanity.
It will be called the greatest march to the Stanley Cup ever.
And here's the problem with that too. In that series, if the Oilers win the Cup, what's the story? Leafs lost. That's the story. It won't be the Oilers finally bring the Cup back to Canada. It won't be anything like that. Oilers' first Cup win since 1990. The main story is going to be how's Toronto going to deal with this? How's Toronto going to build from this one? Can Toronto get back? It's not even going to be about the Oilers.
Well, they better win and have this thing as a pay-per-view to pay off some of that $11 billion that they just spent.
This is what I said on the Hangout. It was in the promo. I don't want the Leafs just to lose. I want heartbreak. And that's what I am cheering for. By the way, heartbreak for the Atlanta Braves and including our Brendan, the intern here. The Braves lost to the Jays today 3-1. The Braves were struck out 19 times. Tying a Braves franchise record for a 9-inning game, one shy of an MLB record. Through 5 innings, it was 10 strikeouts. And the game ended, rightfully so, on a strikeout. Zach will have another sports update for you following a commercial break. Then we'll get to Hernan's World, an Iwanyk edition of Hernan's World. I'm Matt Iwanyk. He's Joaquin Gage. This is EST Afternoons on your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, Edmonton Sports Talk.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Connor McDavid enters Game 82 just 1 point back from recording his 8th career 100-point season. Calvin Pickard gets a call against the Sharks as the Oilers roll with 12 forwards and 5 defensemen in San Jose. Tom Gazzola gets you set for the action as he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7:30 only on EST. And the Canadians will clinch a playoff berth if they get at least 1 point against the Hurricanes to book a Montreal-Washington first-round matchup for the second time ever. Elsewhere, the Stars and Preds face off. Winnipeg hosts Anaheim. The Devils battle the Red Wings while the Golden Knights meet the Canucks. And for the Jets, Alex Iafallo has signed a 3-year extension worth $11 million, having 15 goals, 31 points through 81 games this season. In baseball, Toronto got past Atlanta 3-1. The Brewers beat the Tigers 5-1. With one game live right now between the Mets and Twins. That one's locked at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the NBA play-in tournament continues. Miami takes on Chicago, and the Mavs tip off with the Kings. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons. It is hour 2. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here alongside Zach to come. We're going to want to hear from you momentarily. You're going to need to be part of our next segment of the show. But we also want to hear from you always throughout the show. You can jump into the afternoon inbox, which is presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Coming up this weekend, the Alan Jackson Experience. Later on in June, we got ZZ Top, Dire Straits Legacy, DSL. They're coming in June 12th. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com or at the River Cree box office. You can also head to rivercreeresort.com to find all the wonderful shows that are coming to River Cree Resort and Casino. What a night out that could be. Zach's going to go for Elton Ron, the tribute to Elton John. You can go watch a show. You get a nice bite there. You can go play a little of the games for a bit. And just an unbelievable time that you can have out. Just so much to do when you go to River Cree Resort and Casino. It's time for Hernan's World. Does he have the music or do you have the music?
I do not have the music.
So he has the music. Okay.
He must.
Thanks, Hernan. Appreciate it. It is Hernan's World. What? Yeah. Oh, there we go. I'll take that. It is presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Early bird golf memberships now on sale at Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club with discounts for seniors and first responders, plus special rates for Sturgeon County residents. Enjoy GPS cards, awesome driving range deals, inside kickback, and enjoy a pint or a pound of wings with 2 hands in their full bar and restaurant. For more information, visit egmgolf.com. I love golfing Garrison. I can't wait to go golf there this year. It is one of my favorite courses to absolutely go. I got to figure out when I love golfing Garrison. Great track.
I haven't.
Highly recommend it. It's got its challenges. It's got its holes that you can make up some ground. It's a fun course.
Would you say it's like an intermediate level course, what sort of difficulty would it be?
I would put it intermediate.
Okay.
Like,
Like
it's
for
not-
me, if I went out there, like,
I think it'd be a great course for you to go out there.
is it open enough for me to, you strike it? And if I
Not
It's
kill
both.
anybody?
Yeah.
Well, it's
trying to kill the ball.
in the first hole. There's some trees, but I'd say half the holes have some trees around you. Other half it's quite open. If you get into the trees, like it's not too crazy that you should be able to go find the ball, and you could play it generally. But it also, like, if you do, like, there is the rough, there is some water. Is there water? There's the little spot there. Is there other spots of water? I'm trying to see how much water that course has. Maybe the course doesn't have that much water. No, maybe it's just that one little spot. The dog leg left has a little bit of a spot that is, I think there's water there. Maybe it's not. Yeah, no, it's, Garrison is open right now too, which is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to
didn't know
ask
that.
if you gotta go check that out.
Yeah, no, I think it's not an easy track. It's not like Victoria Golf Club, I would say, is one of the easiest golf tracks for here in Edmonton that you can go golf.
Oh, it's wide open.
And you still shot a 181.
Millwoods is pretty open.
Right, but Garrison, it's that mix. Like you could be a beginner and challenge yourself a little bit, but it's not this daunting course that is going to eat you up.
I see.
And it's very fun. And if you go on a certain time, you can golf longer. It's just great. Actually, it is one of, there's like a couple of courses I go to when I golf. This is one of them. I'm always checking the tee times at Garrison because I love going to golf there. This is Hernan's World, though, presented by Edmonton Garrison Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. It's the Iwanyk edition of this. This is where I'm going to want to hear from our listeners, but we're going to do the three of us. We're also going to do this with the playoffs beginning on Saturday. We know pretty much every playoff matchup that we are going to see. When the playoffs begin, we're going to have the Battle of Ontario. We have the Battle of Florida. We got the Hurricanes taking on the Devils. We got the Jets taking on the Blues. We got the Golden Knights taking on the Wilds. We got Kings Oilers Part 4. We got the Rantanen Bowl. And then there's either going to be Capitals against either the Canadiens or the Jackets. So there's 8 playoff series coming up that are going to begin starting Saturday. We're going to rank our top 3 most anticipated series in the first round of the NHL playoffs. 3-1. Your third most anticipated series, your second most anticipated series, and your most anticipated series.
Okay. So
as we head
bottom to
in the
top.
first round of the top 3. Because I'll say this, if any one of you, though, has Devils Hurricanes, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. But nasties, you could also jump in as well into the nasty chatter in the River Cree inbox. Matt at the Garrison. Today is opening day if you don't get blown away. Hey, that rhymes. LOL.
Nice.
Well done. Well done. Gager, I'll begin with you. What's the third most anticipated series that you have as we head into these playoffs?
The third most anticipated series for me, and this is just purely as a spectator.
Yeah.
Is this kind of like what
for
I
you? You Joaquin
for me?
Gage. If I'm going to say you could only basically watch 3 playoffs series for the first round, these are the 3 you're going to pick.
Okay, so the one I want to watch first, I would say the Battle of. Is it the Sunshine State?
I was calling it Battle of
Florida?
The
Yeah.
Sunshine. It is the Sunshine State.
Battle of
that
Florida.
sounds better.
Yeah, the Battle of the Sunshine State. Tampa, Florida.
The I can't speak. Sunshine Showdown.
There you go.
Too wordy.
Sunshine Showdown.
It's hard to
Sunshine
say.
Showdown.
It's a tongue twister.
Sunshine Showdown. Just got to go nice and slow with it. That'd be the third most.
That's the third one.
That's number 3?
Yeah.
Zach?
My third most anticipated matchup is the Rantanen Bowl. Devils. Jeez, I have Devils on my mind. I can't wait to watch that series. Anyways, Dallas and the Avs. It's going to be a good one because, the just Mikko Rantanen trade. And they're 2 powerhouses. They're both true contenders meeting in the first round. And so they'll be up and at 'em. It'll probably be a long, grueling series. 6 or 7 games, I'm thinking, for that one. It's going to be a good one for sure. And that's my third most anticipated series.
I was debating my 3. I see where you're coming from, Battle of Florida. Especially with Tampa, they intrigue me.
Yeah.
They're playing really good. Vasilevsky, after a couple maybe not so Vasilevsky, is like a little, like some people thinking maybe he's on the downward part of his career.
He's coming around.
Comes back with a great season.
Yeah.
Kucherov, the Art Ross.
They haven't won a first round series since they lost or they haven't won a series since the year that they lost to the Avs in the Stanley Cup final when they beat the Rangers in the conference finals. That's a team that also knows how to win. And if they get through a very good Florida Panthers team, they might be on a run for a cup themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well coached with John Cooper. But I will go with number 3. I will go LA and Oilers.
Okay.
I will put them there. I think this week added a lot to this. I think the Deneau comments, I think the Nurse play on Byfield, I think the Oiler fan base is now in a little bit more on this matchup for the 4th year in a row than they were maybe 2 weeks ago.
I would say it's more entertaining. Before that, though, like if Deneau didn't say that about the B team and, yes. Perry had that response and the Nurse saying, would you still have it in third place?
No,
or
I think
did it
this
just
is, I think this is now, there's this anticipation is now building around the series that has just happened from this week. But I also look at it as I think this is the LA Kings' best chance of beating the Edmonton Oilers in these 4 years. This is their best team. They've got the goaltending in Darcy Kemper. Can Kemper be the guy that he's been this regular season? Can Kemper be the guy that he's been against the Edmonton Oilers in his career? We ran through his stats yesterday. I'm fascinated by this because I also think that if the Oilers, this is the one prediction I'll make from this playoffs, and I've said this for a few months now. I think the Oilers are either first-round knockouts or they're winning the Stanley Cup. There's no in between.
Oh, wow.
So
you didn't make predictions.
And that's why I said this is the only prediction I'm making. That is it. So, but what would, like, it all in my mind, like, hey, the Oilers, I don't care what Connor says. They are banged up. What if they lose this series? What happens? You know, like, there's a lot that goes into this one. The LA Kings, like, here's, somebody texted this in a conversation Belzy and I were having and Tommy on the Hangout, but the LA Kings are preparing for this first round series against the Oilers. The Oilers are focused on winning a Stanley Cup. There's very different spots, but they're meeting that first round. So that is my third series. Number 2.
I believe Lieutenant Eric referred to this series called the Boo.
The Boo?
The Boo.
The Boo.
The Battle of Ontario. I'm fascinated. We're going to get just fed this series like a fire hose anyways, so it might as well be second. And look, I don't know what it is, but I find that I've been saying that the Ottawa Senators would be a pesky team and get into that wild card spot for a few years now and cause some havoc. And like I said before, I'm kind of excited to see Brady Tkachuk in a playoff series going up against certain players for the Toronto Maple Leafs that haven't shown a lot of, I'll say, intestinal fortitude in a lot of the areas of their game. I think it's a very intriguing matchup. The goaltending, the D, the forward group. This is going to be a skill versus will type of series, and those are always the best to watch. So, and quite frankly, it would be fun to see a bunch of sad Maple Leaf fans after another first round exit.
To your provincial rival.
Oh.
Zach, what's your second most anticipated series for the first round?
Well, it's not confirmed just yet, but I think they're going to do it. The Canadians are going to get in the playoffs to face the Capitals for the second time ever in the playoffs. They faced 09-10, losing in that series in 7 games to Washington. But it'll be Ivan Demidov against Alex Ovechkin, 2 Russian, I guess. Well, 1 superstar and 1 maybe superstar to be in Demidov.
Canadians won that series.
Canadians won that series?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, I guess they won that series. Sorry, I misspoke there. But it should be a good one because the Canadians haven't been to the playoffs since they made it to the final in 2021 with Corey Perry on that roster. And I think everybody in Canada was rooting for them then. Not saying that they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. I don't think they're that good. But just to see them make it back to the playoffs is something good, and it's always nice to see original 6 Canadian team back in there. So Canadians Caps is my second most anticipated series.
Well, back to that 2010, it was Washington was number 1, Montreal was number 8, Halak was the goalie that year.
Yeah,
and it's got that similar feel where Montreal, like if they ultimately finish it off today, get in, they could be swept in 4, and it's a great season, right? They've got nothing to lose. That's what makes them dangerous. And I think there's a lot of people that still wonder, how are the Caps this good this year?
Yeah. They are good, though. You have something there, Koob. That's going to be if that's who the Caps end up playing, which it does look like they will. Again, there's a contrast of skill there. Like there's not that there's not skill on that Caps team, but they're big, fast, a little bit more physical. The Montreal Canadiens are quick with some more speed, right? So that one's fun too. I mean, just seeing the game last night, or it was the night before, Montreal fans are going crazy.
Yeah,
they're just, that city's going nuts for playoff hockey, which
Well, the French leadership debate is today, and it got moved. Time got moved up because of this game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's great.
I think the Bloc Québécois and the NDP asked for it to be moved. I think they wanted to move it off today, and the commission changed it and just moved it earlier because of the Habs game. And this isn't the first time we've seen a leadership or debate be moved because of the Habs. This happened a number of years ago as well.
Moved for hockey,
right? It's just so Canadian too at that point.
Oh my gosh!
Like
yeah.
this, I was saying this pivotal election and stuff, and the Habs. A little more
wait
important.
a second.
Little more important.
We got a hockey game to play first.
Big U. Habs have a legit path to the conference finals. I think they can surprise the Capitals, which then would make today potentially a preview of that second round matchup, as it is the Hurricanes and the Canadiens. For me, it is the Rantanen Bowl as number 2 most anticipated series. These two great teams. These two teams that loaded up at the deadline with Rantanen going to the Stars, Joe Sakic remaking his roster. I think they had more players play for the Colorado Avalanche this year than any other team in the NHL. Usually there's injuries and things like that, but Joe Sakic also went out. He changed his roster. And on top of this, the Dallas Stars, 52 minutes announced Taylor Seguin's back in the lineup tonight for the first time since December 1st. So the Stars getting Taylor Seguin back in this lineup. It's if you're the Winnipeg Jets, you're sitting there saying, please be a 7-game series and beat the crap out of each other. Hockey fans, I also think, hoping for a 7-game series to see what happens. But these are two teams that could honestly be winners of the Stanley Cup at the end of the year, but one's going to be knocked out in the first round. That is my second series to watch. Gager, your most anticipated series going into this.
This is probably going to surprise a lot of people, but it's got to be the Rantanen Bowl.
Oh, guys, I thought you were maybe going to go Devils and Hurricanes there. I thought that's where you're going to go.
It's too many storylines. I want to see the physical play being hard. And, Marty Necas?
I think so.
Necas. I mean, he's playing against his former team, too. No, sorry. He's looking to prove that the trade wasn't a mistake.
He's going up against the guy that he was traded for.
Yeah. So I like that as well. And then Landeskog coming back. Makar is always fun to watch. It's too bad that you don't have the real two big D-men going at it with Stars. God, I'm terrible with names today. They're D-men. Help me out here. Heiskanen. With his injury, it doesn't look like he'll be back at least for the first round too, but man, yeah, it's going to be big boy hockey, and there's just a lot of skill on both those teams.
Mex Bezozus, the Scott Wedgwood Bowl.
The Scott Wedgwood Bowl.
Who do you like going into it?
I have
as
to
of
say
right now,
Colorado.
Yeah.
Just McKinnon, Makar. It's a unique combination of two guys that are just awesome. Lots to handle. Dallas, a lot of mileage. And Colorado does too, but I kind of give the edge to Colorado in this series.
Zach, your most anticipated first round playoff matchup for the NHL?
It's going to be the Senators and Leafs for the same exact reasons that you brought up, Matty. It would be hilarious to see the Leafs lose to their provincial rival in the Senators. Senators, I think, this is their first time to the playoffs since they lost in the third round to the Penguins. Sidney Crosby and the Pens won one of their 2 Stanley Cups, but Erik Karlsson was on that team like the last time they're in the playoffs. It's been a while.
16-17.
It's been a while since Ottawa has made it there, and they've been a feisty team. I had them going to the playoffs for the last couple of years, but finally they're able to find, something that clicked. Their goaltending's there, and they seem to be rolling a little bit. They have a nice team, Stützle and company. They have a lot of pieces that really work well together. Of course, Brady Tkachuk is there too, and then to take on really the spectacle, I guess, of sports or hockey. Here, Toronto Sports Network in Toronto out there. It'll be good to see that one.
I'm with Zach on that one as my favorite.
All right.
The boo, as you say, Eric was calling it today. The boo.
Yeah.
It, like, there's just so much. Like Michael Traikos from the Hockey News pointing out, first time since 2004. I remember those series growing up because they met a few times.
Yeah,
I believe,
they
in the
were
playoffs.
great.
I was a big Patrick Lalime guy for some reason.
Yeah, like the mask with the alien. What's that guy's name in Looney Tunes?
I just loved Patrick Lalime. I was
Really?
devastated. I was actually pretty sad when they lost to, I think it was the New Jersey Devils. Yeah, in the conference finals. They lost in a game 7. They went on a little bit of run there, but they met the Leafs 3 straight years. They lost all 3 times. They then met them after the year they went to the conference final. They met them one more time, lost in that one, but they have the season series this year. And to me, as I said, I want a lot of heartbreak for Toronto. And this is a team since the 04-05 lockout. I'm going to go back then. I think they have the 1 playoff series win.
Yeah.
I think that's it, where Sheldon Keefe said,
yeah.
No, that was the next. That was when they lost. That they really had that handshake. It looked good, but they had the 1 win last year. That was last year because then they lost to the Panthers, wasn't it? Was last year they had the playoff series win?
Yeah, against Tampa.
And it was like they won the Stanley Cup because they won.
Keefe went nuts on the bench.
Yeah, so I want them to also have like, okay, we've been building in something, and this our provincial rival that hasn't made the playoffs. They've missed 7 straight. They come in and they already pick up another playoff win.
Yeah.
And they knock you out. Like, that to me is what I'm hoping for. Because the other part to all this is, as much as I don't like Toronto, even if they win, I could sit there knowing that it's Tampa, Florida in the next round. Right? Like, it's not an easy next round for them.
No.
It's not like they're getting through this and it's like all of a sudden they're getting the Montreal Canadiens or something, or they're getting a team, like you're getting either the Panthers or the Lightning. This makes me happy. Or the flip side to this also too is maybe it sets up a Kachuk Bowl.
Ooh.
Right? If the Sens could get this win and the Panthers upset the Lightning, you might get a Kachuk Bowl with Brady going up against Matt.
Batman would love that.
Which would be interesting. Oh, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to get that series, whether that's ESPN or TNT, but they're going to love that too. So I think even the outcomes of this series are very exciting in that way too. But like, if the Leafs lose to the Sens in a best-of-7 series here, I will be tuning into Leafs post-game show that night. And the next day, I think I might have an AirPod in my ear just listening to Leafs radio throughout that day to listen to just... And actually, here's how I also outline this. Even if the Leafs do it, like, I want Marner to have an amazing playoffs.
Oh, and then go.
And then walk.
Oh my
and then
gosh, man.
walk.
What a psychopath you are.
I just want to see the world burn. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Scorched earth.
Here's how I had it. Like, this is how I outlined it in the hangout. Like, Marner has this Game 7 OT winner to go to the conference finals. This unbelievable player. Matthews isn't playing well. Nylander's not playing well. Marner's the guy. They get knocked out, and then he goes and walks to Utah. Like,
Utah.
Just like decimates the Toronto Maple Leafs because he's the guy.
Yeah.
That's what I want. As I said, I don't want the Leafs to lose. I want true heartbreak.
Oh, that's good. I think doesn't Patrick Lalime... Doesn't he have the record for most wins to start a career as a goalie with Pittsburgh? I want to say. Did he win
Was Patrick Lalime with Pittsburgh?
When he started, yeah. Pretty sure.
Here it is. I got to find it here. I had to click. I
guess I could have looked it up.
No, it was... I had it on do you know when you read on Google and then you click the page and you try to find it there?
Oh, right. Because I think he started with something like 14 wins or 15 wins.
Beginning on December 6th, Lalime rattled off an amazing 0-2 undefeated streak.
Oh, okay.
Breaking Durnan's mark of 16 games. Well, those are both 16. I'm reading some press clippings here or something.
Yeah, I just remember that.
He was 14-0-2.
Okay, so
15 straight non-loss game was a 31 save 2-0 shutout over Hartford. 6 days later, they beat the Flames 4-2. He then fell against the Avs in overtime. Oh, that's crushing.
Oh, man.
That is absolutely crushing. I just absolutely loved Patrick Lalime, and I wanted good things for him.
Yeah, and then he went to Ottawa. He was a good goalie in Ottawa for a long time.
Well, that's when he went to the conference finals.
Yeah.
That's when I didn't know about his career in Pittsburgh that much.
So I'm a bigger Lalime fan than you are.
Well, it was also like
I probably paid a little bit more attention to goalies too at that time.
Okay. When he played in Pittsburgh in 96, 97, I was 5-6 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably still
I was
peeing
a
your
little
bed.
young. Whereas then, in 02-03, which is I think the year they went to the conference finals, 924 save percentage in the playoffs. Just a huge Patrick William fan. Clint, sorry, just started listening. Why was Carrick called up and then cannot play? I think it's maybe just in case. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll go in the lineup tonight. Maybe he'll be a last-minute addition to the team. It's an emergency call-up. Why not just have a guy up here also, an extra body just in case? You never know. That's what I would think. That was Hernan's World Iwanyk edition. Again, presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We'll have a Zacticum Sports update. Come back with your thoughts in the River Cree inbox here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Calvin Pickard gets the start in Game 82 as the Oilers face the Sharks. Connor McDavid sits at 99 points as the Oilers just 12 forwards and 5 defensemen in San Jose. And for the Stars, Tyler Seguin returns to the lineup for the first time since December as Dallas meets Nashville. And with just 1 point against the Canes, the Canadians can punch their ticket to the playoffs for the first time since going to the final in 2021. Other games see the Ducks and Jets clash. Red Wings play the Devils, and the Golden Knights challenging the Canucks. In the NBA, Bulls and Heat go toe-to-toe, while the Mavericks battle the Kings for only 2 play-in games on tap. Earlier, Toronto beat Atlanta 3-1. And the Twins beat the Mets 4-3 in the 10th inning. Right now it's scoreless between the Cubs and Padres in the top of the second. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Joaquin Gage and Matt Iwanyk continue on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
2:30 here in Edmonton. This is EST Afternoons. Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with here alongside Zach to come. We're live in the William Huff's studio, presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job the very best it could be, is what they call the William Huff advantage. Visit their website, williamhuff.com. Give them a shout, 780-454-4536. William Huff does have that playoff package. If you go to williamhuff.com, click on store. It comes with a nice banner, the pom-poms, the stickers, the decals. So get your location, whether it be your house, your garage, your man cave, your office, all decked out for the Edmonton Oilers playoffs, which we're expecting will begin on Sunday. I want a confirmation when it comes to Connor Carrick. Did say he can't play. It didn't. Big Uke and Bronco Nick pointing out Carrick can't play. It's not that he isn't playing. Jack Michaels, he got the confirmation on it. Carrick cannot play due to the emergency recall suspension, and Nurse is suspended. That's the issue. So because he's suspended, it doesn't qualify for an emergency recall. So the Oilers will go 12 forwards and 5 defensemen tonight. But then again, why would you call him up if you can't play him?
Just in case.
Well, it's one of two things.
Someone hurts
Either the Oilers didn't know themselves what they were doing there, or it's just in case you just have a body there, which I'm assuming it is that
someone's sick. Yeah,
it's the second one, not the first one.
Just in case.
Former ladder, the ladder. It's the ladder.
Ladder.
Yeah, it's the ladder. That's why. So Carrick will not play tonight. The Oilers will go 12 and 5. If your last
name was Case and you had a boy.
Case.
Yeah, if your last name was Case and you had a son, would you name him Justin?
Case Justin?
No, if your last name is Case.
Justin Case?
Whatever.
Just in case. I like that.
Just in case what?
Teacher. Just in case what? What do you think? Just in case what? And
that's a dad joke.
Well, but on that, it also is one, like, it's not even like one that the kid can be made fun of as much. You know, it's that Simpsons episode where Homer tries to go through all the names that don't work.
Look at the possibilities. What if this kid becomes an NHL superstar and he scores late in games and he's the coach's just in case, you know? We're
going to call it just in case?
Yeah.
Well, what if he's a bum and he just stuck with that name just in case? It's like General Booty, that one quarterback in college. What a name.
General Booty?
His last name was Booty, and then the parents went, well, we're going to name him General. Might as well go big or go home, right?
I guess. It's interesting, Koob.
Or Ivan.
Ivan, yeah. Doug Bodger's brother Roger that played for the Dodgers. Which Roger Bodger, the Los Angeles Dodger.
Here we go. Louis, they'll call him Screwy Louis. Bob Slob. Luke Puke. Marcus Mucus. What about Bart? Bart, Cart, Dart, E-Art. Nope, can't see any problem with that. The Homer's. I had to look up the full quote there. That's what was good. Bart. But there, I think that, if you go just in case. But kids, you can't make fun of that. It's kind of cool. It's not slob, puke, mucus, right?
Just in case.
Still Justin.
Silly face.
Just in case.
I'm here just in case.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm going to change my last name to... no, I'm not having any more kids. Forget that.
Max Powers.
Max Powers.
You wanted to talk a little bit about the Flames. Did you?
Well, yeah. I watched the game last night.
Yeah.
Dustin Wolf, it was awesome. And the Flames, if you had been watching them, they were a fun team to watch. Coming back in third, getting wins. Man, they were. It was cool. Probably pretty cool for the fans to, it came to the last period.
I think some fans though aren't happy.
I know, but
because they had this push, they got there, but you're in that spot as the Calgary Flames where you're not making the playoffs, but you're also not getting those top picks.
But what are the top picks? Is there any real guys that move the needle? where you're going to pick. I mean, that's the thing. You never know. There might be something. They might hit the jackpot with someone else. Regardless, I don't think you're getting a player in the top 10 that's going to come in and make a difference to your team, right? Especially the Calgary Flames at this point.
Is Dustin Wolf good enough to replicate this going into next year?
That's a question. I was asking myself that question last night, Maddie.
And what did you say to yourself?
I said self. I'm optimistic about next year for him because I believe Vladar is done, which is an interesting goaltending. I think he's an okay backup, but anyways,
yeah, he's a UFA.
I think he still needs support from a reliable veteran, just to take some of the pressure off. Because look, after this season, when you're young like this and you have a season like that, you're expected to get better, and he has in every league he's gotten to. He's been a star, right? So all roads are pointing north for Dustin Wolf at this point. And he's going to be an integral part of that Flames team. They've got their number one guy. There's usually a little bit of a lull, that sophomore slump with goaltenders. A, young, B, trying to replicate what they had before, and C, just experience in the NHL, right? Sometimes there's a little bit of a setback, but there's something there with this goaltender. But to your point of not getting a top player that's going to make a difference, what's more important? A guy that's possibly going to be a part of your team 3 years down the road, or playing in these important games, getting this, it's not playoffs, but it's the closest thing to experience of getting into the playoffs, and giving some experience for some of your younger players is it Zachary? He got injured, but I mean, he was a great player. The kid they call Costco, he was out too. So the Flames look like they have some young talent that's there. Good defense. I just think it might be in their case more important to play meaningful games down the stretch than falling for a possible first rounder that's not going to move the needle much in the first few years. I think you can build it through free agency more.
I'm struggling with Puckpedia because I'm just trying to see free agent goalies, and I don't know how to make this. I have not used it because we still kept friendly last year.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to see what goalies might be free agents this upcoming year that you could maybe look at improving on
insulating
with Vladar, like Vladar. Like there are Laurent Brossoit, I think, might be a free agent coming up this year. Like there's a guy who's been around, Connor Hellebuck and stuff at the time. He's with Chicago. Is that a guy you'd maybe go look at? Like I'm assuming you could find some sort of backup who could handle 30 games, but is a little bit, an improvement of Vladar to help Dustin Wolf, to what you're saying. Wolf ended up playing 53 games this year, .910 save percentage, 29 wins with the Edmonton Oilers.
Impressive.
And he's only 24.
Something wrong with Puckpedia because mine's saying that the Flames have $1 billion worth of cap space.
Yeah, like I honestly, I'm so confused by this right now. Like free agent. There's a click for free agents. Can I do this one? Goalies. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This is much better. No, that's not right. I click free agents. I click goalies, and it says Connor Hellebuck. Hellebuck signed. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no.
I'll deal with this later. Yeah, I just know that I saw some people from Calgary yesterday.
And I understand
that it's like, we'll either get in or at least get another top pick or something like that.
Next year is the time where you have to make that decision earlier than not, because Gavin McKenna is going to be available, and he's one of those guys that can step in. I think so far, like he is dominating the Western League as a 17-year-old. That's when you go halfway through the year. How does it look? Okay, we're selling, getting rid of all our players. Try to build up some young guys, some prospects, and see how close we can get to McKenna.
Where's the best spot in the NHL for Gavin McKenna to head to?
It's tough to say. Like right now, I would say Chicago.
Well, I was gonna say the Chicago or San Jose.
Oh yeah, either I would.
I don't know if I don't know. I'd say Chicago. Well, Chicago's the better market than San Jose. We put him with Celebrini.
Who is he better suited with?
I'll leave that to you.
I would say he's better with Bedard because McKenna's more of a. From what I've watched him play, he looks more of a puck transporter.
You know who the team I think hockey, the NHL would maybe want?
Rangers?
No, but not far off from them. It depends how their season goes next year, but they're currently sitting last in the Eastern Conference, and that's the Boston Bruins.
Ooh.
Would you not want, if you'd like to rebound Boston?
Just a bit, yeah.
Even though they might be bad next year, it doesn't mean they would be bad next year, but you go send a potential superstar of this league to the Boston Bruins.
You're right. I switch my choices. I think that would be better.
Because then you got Bedard in Chicago.
Celebrini, all the next wave of superstars, all on their own teams. I think that's what you want.
And on two big, like especially with Boston and Chicago.
Yeah.
Big markets for that. I would say that Gary would look at that one. If the Boston Bruins are the lottery winner, not of this year, next year, you heard it here first, and it's rigged.
Well, Gary's listening. Hi, Gary.
I'll stand. The NHL, the reason I know they don't rig things, Connor McDavid would be a Toronto Maple Leaf. Austin Matthews would have been in Phoenix, and Phoenix then ultimately probably never would have left, but that's where they would have been. If Gary could have rigged things, that's how it would have played out.
Yeah. You're not wrong there, buddy.
The NHL did not want Connor McDavid in Edmonton.
They didn't?
From a business perspective, no. Guaranteed you didn't want him in Edmonton. If you were Gary Bettman in the league's office and you could pick where you wanted him to go, Edmonton was not going to be one of the top picks. So Toronto would have been number one.
So this is why for all these late starts, this is what our penance.
Get used to it. We got a round coming up of it. We'll wrap up EST Afternoons following a short time out with a Zach to come sports update. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Iwanyk. This is EST Afternoons. On the other side, we'll also let you know what's coming up on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Mill.
Connor McDavid enters game 82, just 1 point back of recording his 8th career 100-point season. Calvin Pickard gets the call against the Sharks as the Oilers roll with 12 forwards and 5 defensemen in San Jose. Tom Gazzola gets you set for the action as he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7:30 right here on EST. And the Canadians will clinch a playoff berth if they get at least 1 point against the Hurricanes to book a Montreal-Washington matchup for the second time ever. Elsewhere, the Stars welcome back Tyler Seguin to face the Preds. Winnipeg hosts Anaheim. The Devils battle the Red Wings while the Golden Knights meet the Canucks. And for the Jets, Alex Iafallo has signed a 3-year extension worth $11 million in baseball. Toronto got past Atlanta 3-1. Houston fell 4-1 to St. Louis. Right now, it's runless in the top of the third inning between the Cubs and the Padres before the Rockies go head-to-head with the Dodgers. And the NBA play-in tournament continues. Miami takes on Chicago, and the Mavs tip off with the Kings. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final segment of EST Afternoons before the Reed Wilkins Show goes live at 3. Brings us back on the other side of the break.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
It is Sam Cosentino from Sportsnet checking in.
Start of the year and even midway through the year, I had the Oilers winning the Cup. I don't feel as confidently about that now with the loss of Ekholm because I do believe he's that important a piece. But I do think this is going to be a wonderful series. It's going to be a long series. I'm still taking Edmonton, but just by a hair.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
.246 EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zach to come with you here. Coming up at 3 o'clock, it is the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on the show today. Sean Bell, who I had a lovely time with on the Hangout today, and Tom Gazzola. There was a point we talked NBA, and Tom just sat there. We were getting into Luka thing and stuff.
Oh.
Drew Remenda, Kyle Bukauskas from Sportsnet. They will all be on from 3 to 6. Tom will be on the air at 7:30 with Zach Tecum and Matt Cassin with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Also, the postgame show for you tonight as Edmonton Oilers finally conclude this long regular season that is more of a preseason, and we can get to things starting on Sunday.
Did you answer that question? Did I ask you about the Flames? Do you think it's this year's what they call like a Punic victory for the Flames? Like
I think inside the offices, yes. I think Craig Conroy.
It cost them a little bit, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I think Craig Conroy would think it's a lot. Yes, that they're looking next year. Are you better than at this moment? Can you be better than St. Louis and Minnesota? I don't think you're looking at the Oilers. I don't think you're looking at the Kings. You're not looking at the Golden Knights, and I don't think you're looking at any of the three in the Central dropping off. So it's can you be better as of right now against the Wild and the Blues and stay ahead of the Canucks?
Because like it was you that said earlier that Flames, if the Oilers lose tonight, what are they, 3 back of the Oilers?
I never said that.
Oh, I think it might have been Reed then. I think, yeah.
I never even thought of that.
They're only 3 back if the Oilers lose.
Yeah, the Oilers are at 99 points. The Flames are at 94.
Oh, never mind.
But the Flames have one more game.
One more game.
So if they beat the Kings.
They beat the Kings.
And then the Oilers lose.
It
would be 99 to 96.
And they lost a ton in 3-on-3. So that was close, man.
Yeah. Can you do enough to surpass the Wild or the Blues and keep everyone that's behind you with what you've done this year? And it ultimately comes down to, can Dustin Wolf do that?
I think you need more than that. I think you need a bona fide superstar. Or a goal scorer, a guy that puts up 100 points, maybe. That does it for you.
Mitch Marner.
Oh, you got it. You solved it. Why aren't you GM of the Flames? They got $1 billion of cap space.
They're just going to be loaded next year. I don't know where you saw $1 billion and all that. I'll have to look later.
At the top, at their cap space. So I think it's 9 numbers, isn't it? I mean, it's a mistake, but...
Cap projections for as of right now, for next season for the Calgary Flames is projected cap space at $35 million.
Oh, is it?
Well, that's one thing I saw. Oh, well, I'm at the top. I don't see anything. This one right here? This one? Oh, current cap space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is $1 billion.
1.7 billion. How do they do that?
1.7 billion is their current cap space. They have... Well, yeah, projected cap space is 17.
Yeah, 17 mil
right now, and then the current cap space is $1.7 billion.
Yeah, they've messed up there, but
Mantha would have to be signed. Morgan Frost would have to be signed. Kevin Rooney would have to be signed. Matt Coronado would have to be signed. Connor Zachary would have to be signed. Defensively, not much there. Like They maybe could fit in. Mitch Marner.
With 1.7 billion, yeah.
10-. They do have $1 billion in cap space. Since there's only a couple days left in the season, they could add $1 billion in salary cap hits and stay under the cap for this year. I hope Mitch Marner does leave Toronto still. The only reason I want him is I want a big name free agent. We don't get that too often on July 1. And it'd be nice to have where's Marner going to go? And there'd be a few teams, and the cap going up, there'd be a few teams that can play into that.
And he could reunite with Kadri.
Or maybe he wants to come to Edmonton. They apparently were going to be able to possibly fit Rantanen in here. Maybe get Marner. Maybe Marner and David had such a great time together at Four Nations.
Maybe.
And look at all the Leafs that have come here over the years.
You got the Hyman effect.
The Hyman effect. We've had others that have come here. Some have worked, some haven't. Tyson Barrie worked when he came here.
Jack Campbell
did not work when he came here. There have been those moves.
Travis Dermott.
Maybe Mitch Marner's the next in this long list of players that are going to come from Toronto to Edmonton. Maybe miss Zach Hyman. Who cares about Connor? But maybe just misses Zach Hyman.
Yeah. Everyone loves Zach Hyman.
How could you not love Zach Hyman?
Great.
He's got a great smile. Writes children's books.
Yeah.
Owns a gaming company.
Right. Owns a Ontario League team too, right?
Yeah.
The Hamilton Bulldogs?
No, I think it's the Belleville Bulldogs.
Belleville Bulldogs.
Same logo though. Good.
Do you have a prediction for tonight? Do you care about a prediction for tonight?
Jeez. 3-2 Sharks.
Well, you're actually going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
Zach?
A 1-0 game. Sharks.
Oh, I would feel bad for you if that's the case. Post-game show 1-0 Sharks over the Oilers. You having to watch that from 8:30 till 11 or whatever it is. It's
you better hope for an 8-7.
A nice high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the better question then.
4 lead changes.
What's Connor end the season at points-wise? He's at 99. 60 minutes of hockey left.
99.
He gets shut out.
Yeah. Celebrini just blankets him.
I say 101. He'll get 2. It's not going to be 1-0. I was just poking the fire there. It'll be like 3-2 or 4-3. Hopefully there's that much scoring.
I will say Connor ends at 102. 3-point night coming from Connor McDavid. The line's heating up for you, Gager. That's your line.
Yeah, I know. He'll probably do it, but no, I'm just. I don't think he should be playing in the first place.
No.
Who
plays? Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Is that what you're saying?
Jeez.
It's fascinating that he playing today, but didn't play Monday and stuff when they could have played for home ice.
That's what's troubling to me. Why is he concerned about playing this game? Is it for 100 points? That's what.
Well, I was ripped because somebody said in one of their conversations that Kings were playing scared on Monday.
Playing tonight is basically eating wings with 2 hands. Unnecessary.
It's called being top performer, and that's what Connor's going to do tonight. Thanks to Michael Traikos from the Hockey News for joining us here on EST Afternoons. Coming up next, it is the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. We got the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show coming up 7:30 tonight. On behalf of Zach on the other side of the camera, did a great job, and Joaquin Gage, I'm Matt Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Reed coming up next in just a few minutes with Jay.